Welcome to LY5Elements, where we're dedicated to sharing the wisdom of traditional Chinese metaphysics with the world. Our mission is to teach complex subjects like the four pillars of destiny, also known as Bazi, Qi Feng Shui, and more, in simple, easy to understand English. Subscribe and share our content to help spread this ancient knowledge. Your support is what drives us forward. We also offer personalized one-on-one consultations to guide you on your metaphysical journey. Feel free to leave a comment or contact us directly for more information. Thank you for being part of our community. Hello everyone, welcome to the intermediate course on analyzing marriage and relationships, particularly on secret combinations of the spouse palace that may indicate a secret lover. In the previous lessons, some of you mentioned issues with the voice recording. I hope the mic issue has been fixed. If not, please let me know. Otherwise, let's get started. Today, we shall talk about the spouse palace forming a secret combination. Many Bazi schools do not recognize this concept of secret combinations. However, based on my personal experience, the secret combination in the spouse palace does show a certain level of accuracy in real cases. When the spouse palace forms a secret combination, it indicates that the spouse may secretly have a lover, and this relationship may occur outside the marriage without you discovering it. For example, 子 and 巳 form a secret combination. Why is this considered a secret combination? Because 子 contains 癸 water and 巳 contains 戊 earth. 戊 and 癸 combine, so they secretly form a hidden combination. Yin and Wu also form a secret combination. Wu contains Ding and Ji, while Yin contains Jia. This forms the Jia-Ji combination. 巳 and You combine because You contains Sin metal, while 巳 contains Bing fire. Bing and Sin combine to form water, which is actually the Bing-Sin combination within the hidden stems. Mao and Shen combine because Mao contains Yi wood, and Shen contains Geng metal. This is the Yi-Geng combination within the hidden stems. Wu and Hai combine in the same way. Wu contains Ding and Ji, while Hai contains Ren and Jia. Within the hidden stems, this forms the Ding-Ren combination and the Jia-Ji combination. Therefore, these are considered secret or hidden combinations. When a secret combination appears in the spouse palace, it suggests that the spouse may secretly have a lover without you discovering it. What does this mean? It means that after marriage, anyone may potentially encounter situations related to infidelity. In other words, it is possible for anyone to face such circumstances. Therefore, people should keep a balanced mindset about this because it is not always something you can control. It may simply be that after marriage, you enter a period of romantic luck. During such a period, people of the opposite sex may actively approach or contact you. If a person cannot resist temptation, it may lead to having a lover outside the marriage. If someone comes to you and you see that in previous years, the spouse palace formed a secret combination with something outside the chart, then you may understand that their spouse may have had a lover outside the marriage. However, in practice, we encourage reconciliation rather than separation. I hope everyone understands this principle. You should not directly tell the person the situation, but instead communicate it through hints. For example, even if you know that her husband has a lover outside the marriage, you should advise the woman in a gentler way. You might say that perhaps in a previous life her husband owed this woman a favor or emotional debt. That woman treated him very well and he hurt her feelings, so in this life he needs to repay that emotional debt. If the secret combination appears in an annual luck year, then the relationship may last only about a year, meaning they may be together for a year and then separate the next year. If it appears in a major luck cycle, it could last around 5 years. In that case, you could advise the woman that her husband owed this emotional debt to that woman from a previous life, and in this life, he is simply repaying it. Once that emotional debt has been repaid, the two words naturally separate. Explaining it this way can help the woman who came for consultation feel a little more at ease. When the earthly branch in a man's or woman's Bazi chart contains too many Zi, Wu, Mao, and You, this is because Zi, Wu, Mao, You are known as the four peach blossom stars. If there are too many of them in the chart, it means that throughout life, there may be many romantic encounters and it becomes easier for extramarital affairs to occur. There are indeed charts like this where the earthly branches are entirely Wu, Zi, Wu, Mao, and You. Let me show you an example. Bazi chart. Zi, Wu, Mao, You are all present. They themselves represent peach blossom indicators for a person with such a chart. Their romantic luck throughout life is very strong, so they are more likely to encounter romantic involvements or relationships outside the marriage. Additionally, for a male chart, if the direct wealth appears in a specific stem or branch in the natal chart, and during the luck pillar or annual luck, it becomes combined or transformed. This indicates that the wife may have an affair if he is not married. When this kind of combination occurs to the direct wealth, it signifies the imagery of a girlfriend being taken by someone else. For a female chart, if the direct officer appears in the stem or branch in her natal chart, and during the luck pillar or annual luck, it undergoes combinations or transformation. It indicates that her husband may have an affair. If this occurs before marriage, it represents the imagery of a boyfriend being taken by someone else. Next, in the spouse Bazi, when the luck pillar or annual luck encounters a peach blossom, this peach blossom star is covered in our beginner Bazi course. There are two main ways to access the peach blossom. One is by looking at the spouse palace, which is the day branch. The other is by looking at the year branch. The year branch is known as the career peach blossom, or it can also be called the social peach blossom. If during a luck pillar or annual luck, the year branch encounters a peach blossom, it indicates that the person will be well liked in their career, social environment, and may achieve notable success. If the spouse palace encounters a peach blossom, it represents romantic or emotional peach blossom luck, indicating increased activity or opportunities in relationships and attractions between men and women. How do we identify the peach blossom star? We look at the day branch, which represents the spouse palace. If the day branch is Shen, Zi, or Chen, then encountering You in the luck pillar or annual luck indicates peach blossom luck. A luck pillar represents 10 years of peach blossom luck, while an annual peach blossom refers to that particular year. If the day branch is Hai Ma Wei, then encountering Zi indicates peach blossom luck. If the day branch is Si You Chou, then encountering Wu indicates peach blossom luck. If the day branch is Yin, Wu, or Xu, then encountering Mao indicates peach blossom luck. Let's look at the Bazi chart. The spouse palace here is Chou. In the Si You Chou group, encountering Wu indicates peach blossom, so Wu is the peach blossom star. That means in the future, for example, when he reaches his luck pillar around age 50, he is most likely already married. When he encounters the year of Wu during that period, he will experience peach blossom luck. In that year, many women will actively contact him and ask him out. When someone is going through peach blossom luck, it typically manifests as attention and advances from the opposite sex. You can see that when he encounters the Geng Wu pillar, this luck pillar lasts for 10 years. During these 10 years, he will be under peach blossom luck, meaning there will be a continuous flow of attention and contact from the opposite sex. When a Bazi chart encounters peach blossom in the major luck or annual luck, it indicates peach blossom luck. It may also suggest the possibility of infidelity. This part of the lesson can be a bit confusing. In some cases, by analyzing one's own Bazi, you can see indications that the spouse may have an affair. In other cases, by analyzing the same Bazi, it shows that the person themselves may have an affair. These are different interpretations. Let me repeat this again so everyone can understand clearly. For a male chart, when direct wealth and indirect wealth are mixed. For a female chart, when direct officer and 7 killings are mixed. These are all based on analyzing one's own Bazi to determine whether the person themselves will have a lover in the future. If in a male chart, the stems and branches undergo combination and transformation that produce direct wealth, it indicates that he himself may have an affair. If in a female chart, the combination produces direct officer, it indicates that she herself may have an affair. This is also determined by looking at one's own Bazi. Next, if the spouse palace forms a hidden combination, it indicates that the spouse may have an affair. If your spouse palace has a hidden combination, it suggests your partner may be unfaithful. This is different from the previous two cases. The previous two involve analyzing your own Bazi to see when you yourself may have romantic involvements outside the relationship. However, a hidden combination in the spouse palace is used to determine when your spouse may encounter romantic opportunities or affairs. If the earthly branches in the Bazi contain too many Zi Wu Mao or You, this is also about analyzing oneself. Then, if in a male chart the direct wealth stem or branch is combined, it indicates that the wife may have an affair. This is also derived from analyzing one's own Bazi to determine whether the spouse may be unfaithful. Finally, checking the peach blossom star in the spouse palace of the Bazi also reflects whether the person themselves will have peach blossom luck. Be careful not to confuse these concepts. Several factors affect marriage. Here are some signs of disharmony in the relationship. For male charts, if wealth is unfavorable, and the 5 elements of the spouse palace are also unfavorable. As discussed in the previous lesson, this indicates an unhappy marital relationship. If wealth is unfavorable, it suggests dissatisfaction in the relationship between husband and wife. If the spouse palace is also unfavorable, it indicates a lack of support from the spouse family. All of these factors can negatively affect the marital relationship. The same applies to a female chart. If the direct officer is unfavorable, and the 5 elements of the spouse palace are also unfavorable, it will likewise have a negative impact on the marital relationship. For a male chart, if there is robbed wealth in the day branch, what does this mean? You can think of it this way. We assume that within the male's spouse palace, there is a virtual direct wealth, which represents the wife. If robbed wealth appears there, and since robbed wealth controls direct wealth, it means the wife star is being restrained. This is called a weak wife star. Where the energy of the wife star is insufficient, then it can negatively affect the marital relationship. For female chart, we can similarly assume that this is a virtual direct officer, the day branch. What controls direct officer? Hurting officer controls direct officer. Therefore, if hurting officer appears in the female's day branch, it will also affect the relationship between husband and wife. In addition, regardless of whether it is a male or female chart, as long as the day branch contains hurting officer or indirect resource, it indicates disharmony in the marriage. Hurting officer represents frequent arguments, constant verbal conflicts, and ongoing disputes between the couple. What about indirect resource? It represents unhappiness between the two people. Therefore, for both male and female charts, if the day branch contains hurting officer or indirect resource, it signifies marital discord. However, these factors do not necessarily lead to divorce. They simply indicate a lack of harmony. Many couples may argue and bicker throughout their lives, yet still grow old together. For some male charts, there are too many Rob Well stars among the 5 characters surrounding the spouse palace. They will suppress the virtual direct wealth within the spouse palace. This results in a weak wife star, indicating insufficient marital affinity, which can negatively affect the relationship. For a female chart, if there are too many hurting officer stars among the 5 characters surrounding the spouse palace, they will suppress the virtual direct officer within the spouse palace, which can also lead to disharmony in the relationship. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you, everyone. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe and share to join us on this incredible journey of discovery. Your support fuels our passion to keep creating. Any questions or need personalized guidance? Leave us a comment or get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being part of the LY5Elements family. If anything is unclear, feel free to drop a comment below. I would love to discuss and explore these topics with you. And for those of you who want to understand your Bazi chart but find the learning process too complicated, you can always message me for a one-on-one consultation. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support truly motivates me to keep sharing this knowledge. See you in the next lesson.